Meanwhile, one ran for president and created a revolution. The other's running for senator and hopes to do the same. Now, you know Ron Paul, that fellow on the right, is his son Rand, who is running for senator in Kentucky. In fact, he announced that on my Fox News show. Both are with me right now. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you. Good to be with you, Neil.
You know, you both have made causes, indeed, in your case, Ron, your entire life devoted to combating big government on health care reform. It's looking so big now. More folks are coming your way. Ron Paul, to you first, do you think this thing goes through, and then what?
Well, I think it will go through in some form, but it will do what every other program has done over the last 30 or 40 years. It will increase the costs, and it will make the distribution of medical care more cumbersome. It will not improve the quality of care, but you can be guaranteed it's going to cost more, and it's going to cost a lot more than they're admitting. It's been that way with every program since the 50s.
Now, Rand, do you share your dad's view of, government too big? Is government run amok?
We're having trouble in Kentucky understanding how Baucus's bill, which is $800 billion, is really not going to cost us anything. It doesn't make a lot of sense to us. I see the problems in healthcare is that there's not enough capitalism, that there's too much government, and we're going the opposite way. In healthcare, we have private ownership and profit, but we don't have freely fluctuating prices. So you can't have capitalism unless you have freely fluctuating prices and competition. They call this the Free Choices Act, but it really should be called I'm going to limit your choices in Healthcare Act.
Rand, would you use your dad on the stump a lot, or do you want to, not that you don't love your dad, of course, that you want to break away from him because everyone knows you're Ron Paul's son?
Well, it has opened quite a few doors, and I couldn't do this without his freedom movement that he started. So I readily admit that and don't run away from that at all. But I also say that I can't win this on his merits. I have to win this on my merits. I have to be able to articulate the freedom message, the message of capitalism, the message of less government in my own words. And actually, I have to grow the freedom movement. While we're big, we haven't been big enough to win a lot of races yet. So I have to be able to grow the movement big enough to win a primary. But we're shaking them up here, and it's pretty amazing how much we've done in the last 4 months here in Kentucky.
You know, Ron, with apologies to your son, I mean, there are many who look at this now and say, well, Republicans have failed on spending. You've even mentioned that yourself. Democrats have failed on spending. So maybe there's a third-party way. And many have always pushed you in that direction. You've always pushed back and said no. Are you open to that? Do you think your son should be open to that?
No, I don't think so. Rand talks about the freedom movement, and that's what we're talking about. The one thing is if you have a true revolution, which I notice people in the media, besides myself, are talking about a revolution. A true revolution is pervasive. It influences Democrats and Republicans. For instance, I think this whole move to audit the Fed is very, very bipartisan. So if it's of value, it gets into both parties. Keynesianism has invaded over the many years, both the Republicans and the Democratic Party. And I still remember hearing Nixon say, we're all Keynesians now. Someday we want people to say, we're all free marketeers now and we believe in sound money. That would show that we have been going the right way and are winning the fight.
You know, the argument has been made, though, that Republicans, if you don't mind me getting parochial again, Rand, had their chance, and that their free market ways, I know not as free as your dad would like, but clearly freer, let's say, than some of the Democratic alternatives, their laissez-faire approach, their cut taxes, and yada, yada, it got us in a big heap of trouble. And the rap is the Republicans are coming back with the same script. And we've been there, done that, and they're hardly the ones to come back and push that. What do you say, Rand?
I don't think we quite ever tried it. I mean, we had 8 years of control, or 6 of 8 years of control under George W. Bush, and we doubled the debt from $5 to $10 trillion. You know, we did a lot of things we shouldn't have done, but I don't think it was showing that capitalism fails. I don't think we embraced it. Yeah. I mean, for many years, we allowed government to regulate the economy, but now we allow the government to own parts of the economy. That happened under a Republican watch. So no, I don't think we tried capitalism and failed. I think we as Republicans failed to live up to our platform, and I think people are ready, if we can regain our believability, to see us again.
So, Rand, can I say something out of school here? And if you're mad at me and don't do the show again, I can understand, but I hope that's not true. That your whole family, everyone's cheap. And you really practice what you preach when it comes to the government not getting too big, that you yourselves, as a family, are cheap. That your dad's cheap, that Rand, you're cheap, that it takes a lot for you to spend money. Is that true?
Oh, I think exactly right. I'm very frugal in my personal life, and I'm very frugal. I'm very frugal with the money that people give to me as well. In fact, I've already have a forced savings plan of the money given to me. I'm already putting it aside and saving it for the spring and telling everyone in the campaign, guess what? We don't have $1 million. We only have $50,000 because I'm putting it all aside.
So what is, what are you,
beat 'em in the
what is
spring,
your,
and you got to have the money.
What's the most extravagant thing your dad has splurged on?
You know, maybe going out for ice cream.
Oh, man.
He's not the he's not the biggest of the spenders, I don't think, either.
Why am I not surprised? Dr. Rand Paul, thank you very much. Congressman Ron Paul, thank you very much. It's a delight having both of you here.